Okay, cool. So I'm going to do this video now. I should have done it sooner when I could have done it when I wasn't like driving down the road. But I don't know. I just forgot to do it yesterday. Today's Saturday. I usually do this Friday morning, and now it's like already Saturday afternoon, so I'm just doing it. So this past week I was in New York all week. I was down in New York City. There was some good stuff. It was like really like up and down week. I met Russell Brand on Monday night, which was pretty cool. He did a book signing. Got to meet him. That was cool. I gave him a copy of Peter Gray's book about self-directed learning, and I don't know. There was something kind of good about doing that, and also something kind of empty, like good as in like, hey, maybe this is how you like get the attention of some influential person in the world. You know, I still felt like strategic or manipulative, trying to like get somebody to promote some of the self-directed learning stuff to the world. Like not like, I know somehow in there it's like feeding my own ego. Anyways, in his book he wrote was about overcoming addiction. I mean, it talks about drugs. It's basically a book about the 12-step program, but it talks about more than just drugs, but everything like sex, drugs, fame, food, work, like overcoming addictions of all types. So it's pretty, I don't know, I've been reading it so far. It's a good book. I don't know, I feel like I've got some pattern in there that I kind of fulfill too. Not that I have a food addiction, but like I don't know, sometimes I wonder like being like vegan or gluten-free and like having these things as some kind of a control, like a way of like creating control in one's life, or at least create an illusion of control. I don't know, so like when I went down to New York City's kind of crazy. It's like super busy. It's like kind of get anxious, stressful. Like it's just like too much shit everywhere, and it's like overwhelming to me. So I did that Monday, and then I had to like wake up super early, at least by my standards, super early, at like 6:30 in the morning to like go visit a couple. I visited like 3 or 4 schools this week, like these self-directed learning centers. And the place, like, it was really noisy at the hostel, so, like, I didn't get shit for sleep, and then I get up super early, and then went to school, and then went to school, went to visit these places, and then I get out, and I'd, like, go home and just fucking, like, sleep. So I got, like, hardly, like, no work done. Wasn't really happy most of the time. I did enjoy the schools, and, like, I felt like I was learning something, and I'm, like, planning on writing a book or doing, like, everything just feels, like, so, like, ambiguous as, like, what exactly it is that I'm trying to fucking do. I don't even know, like, exactly what my, like, why is, like, what's my motivation, like, what do I really believe in, what am I, like, doing with all this? Is it just me, like, having some kind of angry outlet? And, like, to what extent do I have the right to tell any kid how to live their life or how to do education when, like, I myself am not even, like, a very happy person? So it ain't like, you know, like, I could say, oh, like, follow the school system's carrot and chase it around all the time, and you won't find happiness at the end of that rainbow. I could say that, but it's not like, oh, hey, I found this other thing, and this has brought me happiness. I mean, I know I wouldn't do it any other way than the way I've done it, so I still like believe in this like self-directed path I take, but I don't know if I like feel warranted to give anybody advice. And I'm just like not really loving doing this web development shit. It just feels like an ends to a means, but it doesn't feel like there is an out to it, maybe. I mean, I've been thinking about going and like doing these like talks at libraries where I just like throw free events and just share with kids all the stuff I've learned about self-directed learning. And maybe if I do those and like I actually start drawing like an audience of interested listeners, then eventually there'll be too many people to do it at a library, and if there's too many people to do it at a library, then I could move to a bigger venue and sell tickets or something. I don't know. Like, and then even then, like, is it okay for me to even be doing this? You know, there's going to be people in self-directed learning community that are upset that I'm out there, like, speaking about unschooling. Like, I guess some of these people, like, think that I'm an outsider that doesn't have a right to be, like, promoting a thing that I personally don't have kids and I don't practice. So, like, maybe they're right. Like, I don't really understand fully the relationship between parents and kids that do this method of learning. Like, I don't, you know? And I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, and I don't know that I get satisfaction or fulfillment from it. I mean, there are nice things that come up, you know, like I had a kid contact me yesterday and say I was like a role model or that I like inspired him in this kind of shit. And like, I mean, it feels really nice to hear that, but on the other hand, I'm like, well, shit, like, I don't have anything figured out. I don't have like answers for you or any of this stuff. So like, felt like, oh geez, like, I almost was upset that I gave somebody that kind of inspiration because I feel like it's not. Like, I must have lied to him. Like, oh, geez, if you got that out of me, then I must have sold you a line of bullshit or something. I don't know. Just not feeling super happy. And, like, I know this is supposed to be about getting off psychiatric medications. I don't have any interest in going on, like, a psychiatric medication to make me feel better. Like, I just don't have any interest. I feel like almost like I'd rather be miserable than consider the possibility of going on an antidepressant of some kind. And I don't know what that says about me. If that's self-detrimental or something, that there could be something that could help me. Like, maybe I actually have some kind of a chemical imbalance. And maybe there is a solution to it, and I'm like too stubborn to take that solution on some kind of principle or some kind of. I mean, I feel like it's a load of shit. You know, this chemical imbalance myth. But I don't know. I keep, keep on going, thinking that there's light at the end of the tunnel, or that somehow I'll figure things out and it'll get better, or maybe there's something differently I could be doing, or some other way to approach things. Like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'm like overwhelmed. Like, I don't have enough time to do everything I want to do. Like, I couldn't even fit in like a new hobby or a new habit. I think about what things I could cut out of my life. Like, what kind of shit am I doing that's a waste of my time that I could just stop doing? And then put what inside there, you know? Like, is this moving around stuff? Is that causing me unhappiness? Like, bouncing around and around and around instead of having a community? It seems to be an important thing in people's lives. You know, like, I just want to keep moving around. Like, I don't really get that much happiness out of being. Not that I don't get happiness about being around my family. Like, I certainly enjoy them, but I don't like love being in Connecticut. Like, oh my God, this feels like home. Wow, I love it. Can't wait to stay here forever. That kind of thing doesn't. I don't know. I'm thinking of going up to New Hampshire for like a month. I got some stuff to do in Connecticut for this coming week, and then I don't know, whatever. This thing's like 9 minutes already. It's stupid. Oh, and I want to say there was like a couple of weeks ago where I had like a thing where I posted an extra video because I thought I had some kind of a special awakening or whatever, and like I was looking back and I was like, you know what I did? I don't think I mentioned I had drank like a shitload of kombucha that day. Shitload. Like, I drank like 2 bottles of kombucha that day, which I had talked about how I felt like I had some kind of an addictive-ish thing to it. And then what I found was that there's caffeine in kombucha, so I don't know that I necessarily was getting any alcoholism-y buzz off kombucha. It was the fact that there's just like a bunch of caffeine in it, and I don't drink any caffeinated beverages anymore. So I think that made me like slightly less frightened of like my thing about kombucha, but still like not a good thing. And so that day I had drank a bunch, Not that I've like, I hadn't drank it in a long time. I kind of like, I forget exactly what it was. And I think that's why I couldn't sleep all that night. Not that I had some sort of special fucking awakening, you know. I don't know, whatever.